And a pleasant good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another broadcast here on the RSL Network. Joe Bowling with you as we are back in Hanna High School. Continued coverage of pool play on day 2 of the BISD On the Border by the Sea 2016 volleyball tournament. This action will feature the Hanna Lady Eagles and the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats. Our pregame show brought to you by the City of South Padre Island and by Texas Southmost College. Hanna's already played a game today. They lost to Laredo Johnson. They went 2-1 yesterday, lost here. They're even at 2-2. Rio Hondo was put in a tough bracket yesterday and are looking for their first win in pool play. They're up against it in this bracket here today. But I'll tell you what Coach had to say about that after this. On our pregame show, a couple of minutes on the clock. First serve coming up. More action on the pregame. After this, On the Border by the Sea.
This is the island where even the grown-ups forget what day it is. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
If you've been in a car crash, call Kenny. We're available to take your call 24/7, and we don't charge a fee unless we win your case. When you're in a car crash, call Kenny. Call 999-1111 now for a free consultation.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
Back here as we continue on our pregame show, the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats and the Hanna Lady Eagles are set. You know, I talked to Coach for Rio Hondo. Coach Vasquez was telling me that, hey, we struggled yesterday in pool play, but the reality of it is we want to play against these bigger schools. We want to get in these bigger school tournaments because of the fact that we want to set ourselves up to match up how we do later in the season when we're talking post-game and trying to get into playoffs. So she's happy with the progress they're making, and she knows they're going to be challenged here today. Their first district game is already coming up. It's Tuesday on the road at Robindale, and they're also in the Port Isabel tournament. This is their first tournament of the season, and the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats looking to improve with each game they play. And Coach measures things as far as gameplay on how they play and what plays they make against these bigger schools, against the players that are bigger hitters. And she measures on how they play defensively as much as they do on the offensive end. The Hanna Lady Eagles, 2-1 yesterday, lost one. I said earlier, they can punch their ticket into the gold bracket. They better go 2-1 minimum. Therefore, they got to play perfect here and then take on a tough Los Fresnos team a little bit later on. First serve coming up. Our pregame has been brought to you by Texas Southmost College and by the City of South Padre Island. I'll be right back with the opening serve of this one, and it's coming up after this. On the Border by the Sea.
At Brownsville ISD, every journey starts with a strong foundation.
Our academic programs inspire curiosity and critical thinking.
In athletics, students unleash their potential while diving into school spirit.
Creativity shines throughout our various fine arts programs.
Our career and technical education provides students with essential skills for the workforce.
With dual enrollment courses, students can earn college credits while still in high school.
Brownsville ISD.
One team.
One dream.
No importa en cuál etapa de tu vida te encuentres, Texas Southmost College está aquí para ayudarte a progresar. Ya sea que estés empezando desde cero, cambiando de carrera o adquiriendo nuevas habilidades. TSC tiene programas accesibles diseñados para adaptarse a tus metas. Es hora de dar el siguiente paso. Piensa en grande, piensa claramente, piensa en TSC.
Back here after the timeout. Thanks again for tuning in for our pregame show. We are set to go with the opening serve. Rio Hondo and Hanna. The Hanna Lady Eagles on the right side of your screen. Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats in the white uniforms with the black trim and the gold lettering will be on the left side. And for Rio Hondo, again, they're trying to notch their first victory. They're a senior-laden squad. They got 6 seniors on this team, and they'll serve to start it off. A race to 25, best 2 out of 3 here in pool play. Hanna, 2-1 yesterday, lost 1 earlier today, and like I talked about in the pregame show, they want to get into that gold bracket. They need to win 2 today minimum. First serve of the game, and away we go. Hanna on the return to serve, keep it on the back row. Free ball coming up for Rio Hondo right out of the gate. Set it up on the far side, or check that center side, blocked by Hanna. Rally continues. Rio Hondo's going to have to play a lot of defense today, starting with here in game 1. Spike across, goes out of bounds, and Rio Hondo earns the first point of the game. (1-0) the score. Left-handed serve coming across by the Lady Bobcats. Deep serve carries out of bounds. Service errors will kill you when you're a decided underdog coming in. Lady Eagles substitute into the ball game as they bring in Annalay Cruz to the front line. Jump serve across, deep serve, played on the back row. Back there covering that is Zima Gonzalez. And on the pass, nothing doing, and Hanna takes the lead at 2-1. Lady Eagles played tough against Laredo Johnson, dropped 2. They just gave up a lead. There's an ace served up. And a quick 3-1 lead now for the Lady Eagles. Serving is Stephanie Cruz. She's a senior on this squad for the Lady Eagles. Their setter is Carla Soto. She's a junior on the squad. Off the net, played by Rio Hondo. Second hit over, carries out of bounds. Good idea there by Yelenia Sauceda, the senior, but just carried it out of bounds on the sideline. 4-1 lead for the Lady Eagles. That's in the net. Serving error gives a point to the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats. Later on, Hanna will take on Los Fresnos, so they'll stay on the court after this game, and that'll be a major league challenge. Serve goes out of bounds. So of the 5 points scored by the Lady Eagles, already 2 of them off of service errors. Lady Eagles check in Veronica Medina, a senior on the front row. Rotate Alexander Segura, their libero, back to serve. Serve across, punched up by Rio Hondo. They'll set it up on the far side. Hit it over, that's Azimia Gonzalez again. Ball back over, that's on the angle. Score the point, Carla Soto. Watch and see on the replay, you can see that Soto had the vision to get that across court. Nobody back there. Back to live action. 6-2 the score. Lady Eagles didn't lead much in that at all against Laredo Johnson, especially in game 2 where they trailed from start to finish. Rio Hondo set it up on a back set, up near the net. Annette Sandoval unable to put it across. Sandoval, a freshman on this team, starting here today for Rio Hondo. Lady Eagles to serve again. Segura is a junior on the squad. Easy to spot her wearing the libero jersey. Ball up near the net, played by Hanna. Free ball for Rio Hondo. See if they can set something up. The setter is Sauceda. That's in the net, and Rio Hondo can't produce off a free ball. 8-2. Hanna leads. Substitution checking in. This is Isabella Rocha, a junior, coming in on the back row for Rio Hondo, hoping they can get some better passes out of these return to serves. Ball across by Segura. This time the pass on the money. Set up over the block, played and covered nicely by Hanna. Set it up near the net. Challenge there. Ball falls, and Hanna scores again. You had 4 players converging up there at the net. And oftentimes, that's what will happen. A back row can get caught watching what's happening at the net and not be back on that back row to cover it. Serve across by Segura. She's been busy now, scoring points for Hanna off the service line. Quick set at the net. Tip, blocked, and controlled nicely by Hernandez. Or check that. That's Sandoval at the net. Hanna set it up again. Big swing here, and good play on the back row by Rio Hondo to keep the rally alive, and then it falls. Isabella Rocha with a letter-perfect defensive play on the back row. Got to the ball, lofted it high enough for a setter to get underneath it. Just miscommunication on the Rio Hondo side for that second hit. Lady Bobcats, another pass up near the net. This is off the net at the spike line, and a point scored for the Lady Bobcats. Carly Rodriguez on the hit. Watch on the replay. You'll see the pass was near the net. The setter managed to still get in position for a hit off the spike line, and the ball landed. Live action. Rio Hondo serves in the net. Hanna off the bench for substitutions. In to serve is Kara Hernandez. To the front row goes Karen Salazar. 11-3 lead. That's an ace. 12-3 Hanna. And a 9-point lead for the Lady Eagles here in game 1. Eagles lost to Johnson. Los Fresnos knocked off Johnson. And here's game 3 of what will be 6 games in the gym. High set this time on the angle from the near side. Ball across to the back corner. Score the point. Rio Hondo, nice play. Annette Sandoval to read the D. Again, watch on the replay. You'll see the hit. And then watch Sandoval read that. Nobody back there. Everybody creeped up too far. 12-4 your score. Ball still alive on the rally. Big swing there, but that carries too far. When you're that near the net, if you don't get on top of the ball, doesn't matter what your arm swing is, the momentum will carry it too deep, as was the case there. 14-4, a double, check it, 13-4. Hanna on top. Tip off the block. Ball still at the net. Challenge won by Hanna. Too much height there as Caitlin Flores was at the net. Also up there, Karen Salazar for the Lady Eagles. They're up double digits. Rio Hondo with a left-hand swing. That carries out of bounds. Had the right idea on the angle, and now a timeout by the Lady Bobcats. 15-4 the score. Lady Eagles on top. Game 1 continues from Hanna. This is On the Border by the Sea.
At Tortilleria Ibañez, flavor starts fresh every day. Crispy flautas, homemade tamales, and our signature chicken salad, all made for you. Tortilleria Ibañez, tradition on every plate.
Kenny Perez came from a small town in Texas. At Kenny Perez Law, we won't stop fighting until our clients get what's rightfully theirs. We're right by your side, no matter what. Call Kenny Perez Injury Lawyers today, 956-999-1111.
Turn your back here after the timeout. The Hanna Lady Eagles on top by 11 at 15-4. This is a race to 25, so they're well within reach of racing away and winning game 1. Lady Eagles looking to, again, even things up here in pool play today. That's a kill that goes down. And I talked about because they went 2-1, because Johnson went 2-1, that either of those teams had to look at perfection or at worst 2-1, but that might not still get you in the gold bracket depending on how everyone else plays out. But 2-1 here today and 4-2 overall in the 2 days should land you in the gold bracket played tomorrow. Good hustle there by the Lady Eagles. Maybe the longest rally here of the game here thus far. Eagles maintain control. Back row attack looking for the sideline. It carries out of bounds. Again, that's the stuff that Coach Vasquez was talking about. I don't look at the overall success of our team in the win-loss column. I'm looking at how our players respond to the bigger schools bringing more power and bigger hitters at us. At time, they sustained a long rally despite a couple of big hit approaches by Hanna. Center set here, that's tipped off the block. Hanna keeps it alive, tips it to the back row, played nicely as Gonzalez remained in position. Here's a hit, that's just out of bounds on the back row. 17-5. Hanna now up by a dozen. Lady Eagles bring a new player onto the front row as that's Isabella Garza, 5'8" junior. I talked to Coach before the first game to Hanna. Interesting conversation. I said, give me some of the height for your players. And he said, how about I give you some of the lack of height for our players? 5'8" and 5'9". Spike there, put that one away, Hanna. The Golden Eagles also lost one of their big hitters as the 5'9" junior, Angela Badia, went out with an injury in game 1 today. So they're down to one major hitter. This is Garza now on the front row. Serve there, carries out of bounds. Rio Hondo down 18-6. Now look to Isabella Zuniga to serve away. Zuniga, right-handed server. A sophomore puts it across. Out of bounds it goes. Multiple substitutions coming in for Hanna. They routinely did this. Also, Rio Hondo will substitute in as Madison Lopez, a senior, goes to the back row. Meanwhile, for Hanna, in and to serve is Carla Soto. On the front line is Caitlin Esparza, the senior, will play near side on the front row. Esparza now rotates far side as the serve goes into play. In the net it goes. Hanna scores the point. And then the mythical race to 20 in these games to 25, which I so often relate to. That's your major league advantage. Get to 20 first and then see what happens. Hanna well in control here, up 20-6, make it 21. Ball never got near the net, despite some effort. Lady Bobcats want to talk it over once again. Hanna on top by 15 from Hanna High School. This is on the border by the sea. Day 2 of pool play. Back after this.
Give your little one the best start at Brownsville ISD's Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 programs. At BISD, 3 and 4-year-olds develop fundamental skills that pave the way to lifelong success. With quality educators, access to the latest technology, and free nutritious meals to fuel the day, our young minds explore and learn in exciting new ways. Enroll your 3 and 4-year-old today at Brownsville ISD, the best choice.
Lady Eagles tack on another point after the timeout, lead by 16 here at 22-6 over Rio Hondo. Hanna on the right side, Rio Hondo on the left if you're just joining us. Lady Bobcats watching as Hanna sets up another approach at the middle of the net. That carries out of bounds. Makes it a 22-7 game. Lady Bobcats, Yelinia Sauceda to serve. Earned the point for Hanna. 23-7. Lady Eagles. Stephanie Cruz checks back in. She'll serve. She's a senior. Rio Hondo set it up. Carry it out of bounds on the hit. Lady Eagles on top 24-7. Our appreciation to the Brownsville School District for assisting us with a place to broadcast these games, assisting us in a great way. Not only here, but yesterday in Lopez, over at Brownsville Veterans as well. Any of the 5 schools. Terrific help by BISD. Points scored, Hanna Eagles win game 1, 25-7. Game 2 coming up after this.
It seems like you'll do anything for your clients.
Anything.
Would you get a face tattoo?
What do you all think?
Looks good, boss.
Yeah, latte.
This is the island where adulting takes its own vacation. South Padre is more than an island. It's the island.
I fell on a loose towel at the grocery store, and now they're saying it's my fault. Do you think you could help?
Of course I can help. You should be focused on feeling better.
Oh, thank you, Law Champ. Hey, do you think I can get a selfie?
Of course.
Kenny Perez came from a small town in Texas. At Kenny Perez Law, we won't stop fighting until our clients get what's rightfully theirs. We're right by your side, no matter what. Call Kenny Perez Injury Lawyers today, 956-999-1111.
Turn your passion into a powerful career at Texas Southmost College. Our automotive technology program will train you in everything from maintenance to full vehicle systems repair. Earn a certificate or associate degree and get certified to work as a C maintenance or B-level technician. You'll be guided by seasoned instructors who have decades of real-world automotive experience, helping you get ready to roll into the industry. So take the wheel and apply today at tsc.edu.
Back here, ready to go for game 2, as the Hanna Lady Eagles took the first one. And the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats will try to regroup here. In this one, Hanna still has to play Los Fresnos, which is next up. And then this Rio Hondo team has to run the juggernaut of playing Johnson and Los Fresnos to close out the day. I told Coach, I was like, they didn't do you any favors putting you in this pool. She's like, no, in a way they didn't, but in another way they did, because I want my players to see high-level competition. Well, they'll certainly see it here today. Yesterday they saw the likes of San Benito. They also saw Hidalgo and Pace. But here today, there's 3 quality teams in this pool with this Rio Hondo Lady Bobcat team. Hanna serves, and away we go. Game 2. As Camacho puts it in play. And she'll serve up the first point. Hanna led from start to finish in game 1. Ayali Camacho is a freshman for Hanna. Rio Hondo on the return of serve here. Set it up near side. Annette Sandoval, that's another freshman on the court. That spike carries off the back wall. And anytime you one-hop a wall in the volleyball, that's going to be out. Matter of fact, you one-hop a ball in basketball, that'll be out of bounds. 1-1 to score. Good jump serve here by Rio Hondo. Hanna able to cover that. Lady Bobcats get a chance here. That's in the net. Miss hit by Carly Rodriguez. She knew she missed her chance on that hit. This Rio Hondo team will play in the Port Isabel tournament later on. And so will Hanna. Hanna to serve. Now a 3-1 game. Deep serve played forward for Rio Hondo. Lady Eagles, see if they can set something up center. Back row plays that by Rio Hondo. That's a kill off the net, score the point, and that's Sandoval. Makes it a 3-2 game. That's a missed serve. I believe they put the score on the scoreboard in the wrong spot. I got 3-3. Scoreboard reads 4-2. Let's see if they adjust that. Good play on the rally by Rio Hondo. Lady Eagles set it up. Played forward. Good hustle again by the Lady Bobcats. Lady Eagles set it up, punch it over. That's Angie Badillo on the front row. Is that Badillo? No, that's Anelli Cruz on the front row for the Lady Eagles. Badillo went down with an injury earlier. Not sure we'll see her or not. 4-3, Rio Hondo with the lead here. And serving. Hanna, good pass, good set. And in the net, Rio Hondo, we're tied at 4. Much different look for the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats. They looked up and were trailing by double digits in the blink of an eye in game 1. Here in game 2, have played even with the Lady Eagles. Thus far. Into serve for Hanna is Cara Hernandez. Off the net, Lady Bobcats send it over. Hanna, far side attack. Good dig over there by Isabella Rocha. Lady Bobcats may get a point out of this. Free ball to work with. The pass, the high set middle. Rodriguez tips it over. Hanna now on the counter near the net. And in the net, Hanna. We'll check that in the net, Rio Hondo. Official reversed that call midstream. Lady Eagles now up 5-4. Lady Bobcats are like, I didn't get in the net. Did you get in the net? No. Well, the net moved, the official said, and it was you. Now the score clock operator has changed a couple of other points. I'll just keep track of what they're putting on the scoreboard. How about that? 6-4 the score. Good pass by the Lady Eagles. Miss hit on the kill. And so Rio Hondo within 1 at 6-5. Carly Rodriguez, a junior, serves again. That's in for an ace. Rodriguez, watch here off the serve on the instant replay. Just down the line. 6-6 your score. Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats looking to take the lead here. In the net, they will. 7-6 Lady Bobcats. Oftentimes you win a game by 20 points plus. You can fall into that overconfident stage. Lady Eagles appear to be primed for that right here. Another point. Lady Bobcats feeling it. Score again. Go up 8-6. Strong serving by Carly Rodriguez. Better pass this time for the Lady Eagles. Set it up. Past the blockers. Rio Hondo. Rodriguez is there to cover that. Free ball for Hanna. Turns into a hit attempt for Rio Hondo. Another chance, and that's out of bounds. That was a golden opportunity for the Lady Bobcats. There really wasn't anyone in that back corner. Lady Eagles trying to tie it up. Off the serve is Cruz. Rodriguez to set it up, and a miss hit. Tie game at 8 apiece. Up near the net. Hanna to cover that. Rodriguez punches it up high for Rio Hondo. Back there is Segura to play it for Hanna. She'll become the hitter and produce. It's not every time that you see the libero become the hitter, but watching this play. She made the defensive play there and then was in position to take this pass and put it away for the kill. 9-8 Hanna. Set by Rodriguez. Lady Eagles go across the net. Tie game at 9. Much different results from Rio Hondo's play here in game 2 than what we saw in game 1. Trying to regain the lead are the Lady Bobcats. Both teams are working hard on the rally. Free ball here for Rio Hondo. Rodriguez with a high set. Near side, a hit by Zuniga. This time a set far side. Right there to dig it is Segura. Off the net this time, a kill attempt. Rally maintained on a play by Rocha to keep it in play. At the net, Eagles can't dig it out. Rio Hondo retakes the lead at 10-9. Deep serve played by Hanna. Ball at the net, over the blockers. Hanna on the attack again. Had to regroup there. Flores wanted to get a big swing, couldn't. Rally continues. Free ball for Hanna. The pass, a set by Hernandez, and that time a swing, but it's blocked. And Hanna goes into the net. Rio Hondo builds on the lead, now up 11-9. Timeout, Lady Eagles. Rio Hondo playing in another gear. Eagles trying to match that level after this.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years. Leave the hiring to us.
Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of skilled employees to fit your needs.
Your success is our strategy.
Don't hesitate. Call us now.
If you've been in a car crash, call Kenny. We're available to take your call 24/7, and we don't charge a fee unless we win your case. When you're in a car crash, call Kenny. Call 999-1111 now for a free consultation.
At Brownsville ISD, every journey starts with a strong foundation.
Our academic programs inspire curiosity and critical thinking.
In athletics, students unleash their potential while diving into school spirit.
Creativity shines throughout our various fine arts programs.
Our career and technical education provides students with essential skills for the workforce.
With dual enrollment courses, students can earn college credits while still in high school.
Brownsville ISD.
One team.
One dream.
Hanna called the timeout, and they do get a point after the break and are now serving down 11-10 to the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats. Good serve, gets across at the net. Rio Hondo wins that. Right up front is Isabella Guillen to make that play for the Lady Bobcats, who are back up by 2 at 12-10. Deep serve carries out of bounds. Hanna will regain the serve. Hanna again stays on the floor after this, and they'll take on Los Fresnos. Lady Eagles. Ayeli Camacho to serve. Right across. Played by the Lady Eagles here. Blocked by Rio Hondo, but it goes out of bounds. We're tied at 12. All right, in volleyball in a game to 25, it's halftime. 12-12 the score. Serve across by Camacho. Bobcats fortunate to get that over. It's off the net. Rio Hondo with a chance. Free ball here for Hanna to work with. Back row attack. They go back to Segura. Rio Hondo able to cover that. Segura with a pass. The set by Camacho and the tip across. Ball in the net, dug out nicely by Rio Hondo. A score point. How about that defense by the Lady Bobcats? Watch this. This is play right up near the net. You got to be real cautious how you're playing that close. That's from her knees, and a nice play by Rodriguez to make the play, then get out of the way. Rio Hondo leading. Hanna responding here and scoring a point. We're tied. Game 2, Rio Hondo has certainly found another gear to play in. Hanna playing with them, but certainly not dominating as they did in the first game against this squad. And that's a point scored by the Lady Eagles. They take the lead. 14-13 Hanna. Now, if you're Rio Hondo, you have to be careful here. You played well. You stayed with this team. But you give up a couple of points here, you'll never look up and get a chance to get back in this game. That's how fast this momentum of volleyball can switch. Play there. Good diving play by the Lady Bobcats. Defensively, they have stepped up here in game 2. A couple of notches. Point there by the Lady Eagles. Those long rallies were being won by the Lady Bobcats early in this game. If you see Hanna score another point or two, you may indeed see a timeout by Rio Hondo. That's an ace. 16-13 the score. There's your timeout. Rio Hondo will talk it over. Hanna on top. They've been tested. Border by the sea continues.
No importa en cuál etapa de tu vida te encuentres, Texas Almus College está aquí para ayudarte a progresar. Ya sea que estés empezando desde cero, cambiando de carrera o adquiriendo nuevas habilidades, TSC tiene programas accesibles diseñados para adaptarse a tus metas. Es hora de dar el siguiente paso. Piensa en grande, piensa claramente, piensa en TSC.
Back here, we're at Hanna High School as the bleachers clearly spell out Hanna. On our side, it would be a little harder to read that. There's a bigger crowd base on this side of the floor. It'll be a bigger crowd tomorrow when we converge in Brownsville Veterans. And again, these Thursday and Friday games, it's hard for people to get out of work and in many cases out of school to get over here and watch these games. But Saturday, the fans usually rotate in for a bigger attendance. Ace there by the Lady Eagles, and just like that, they're up 4. And this is what I was warning about. You're on the Rio Hondo side. You work so hard to stay in contention in this game that you could be looking up and saying, what happened? We were so close. Spike there, punched over. Spike again, carries out of bounds. Defense of the Lady Eagles has suddenly come to life. Now a 5-point game. Flores serves it. Diving play there, the Lady Bobcats, another score for Hanna. And suddenly the serving of Caitlin Flores coming into play for the Lady Eagles. They're now up 6. Good dig back there by Segura. Rio Hondo able to play that, but it goes out of bounds. Now 20-13. Hanna's train rolling full now as Flores serves again. Miss hit there. Great play, though, by Rodriguez to keep that in position. Score a point, Hanna, but you can't discredit the effort there by Carly Rodriguez. Watch this. Just literally leaving her feet to make that play. Timeout on the floor. We'll be right back.
It seems like you'll do anything for your clients.
Anything.
Would you get a face tattoo?
What do you all think?
Looks good, boss.
Yeah, Latte.
Give your little one the best start at Brownsville ISD's Pre-K 3 and Pre-K 4 programs. At BISD, 3 and 4-year-olds develop fundamental skills that pave the way to lifelong success. With quality educators, access to the latest technology, and free nutritious meals to fuel the day, our young minds explore and learn in exciting new ways. Enroll your 3 and 4-year-old today at Brownsville ISD, the best choice.
Back here to live action after a timeout. Hanna leading now 21-13. Remember, they trailed at one point 13-12. They'll give up a point there after the timeout was called by Rio Hondo. The Lady Bobcats earned the serve, but what a good run by Caitlin Flores for Brownsville Hanna, opening up this nice lead for the Lady Eagles. Deep serve out of bounds. Eagles now 3 away from what would be the sweep here in this one. Alexandra Segura to serve now for Hanna. Good pass here by the Lady Bobcats. Rodriguez with a hit. Segura right there to dig it. Ball tipped over. Rio Hondo attacking again. And off the block of Caitlin Esparza, that ball will fall, and Rio Hondo will tally the point. 22-15. Front row, Isabella Zuniga takes a place for Rio Hondo. Another service there. Hanna scores another. Lady Eagles up 23-15. If you're just joining us, they were down 13-12 in this game. High arcing serve played by the Lady Bobcats. Hanna looking, set it up across the court, out of bounds. Now we're just trading points, and if you're Hanna, you say, okay, we can do that now. With this nice separation between the two teams on the scoreboard. Tipped over. And a point scored. Smart play there by Rio Hondo. And the Lady Bobcats back to within 6. Rodriguez serves it up. Diving play by Rodriguez once again. Hanna sets it off the net, spiked off the block. Bobcats set it up near side. Gonzalez with a spike. Segura puts it back over. Rio Hondo struggling. 4 hits. Hanna scores point 24. Lady Eagles trying to serve it out. Annalie Cruz serves it over. Lady Bobcats with a back set. Hanna. This may do it. Ball over. Rio Hondo right there. Another chance for the Bobcats. That carries out of bounds. Ball game over. Hanna wins this one 25-17. And they get the 2-game sweep. 25-7, 25-17, Lady Eagles. Our post-game show brought to you by the City of South Padre Island, by Texas Southmost College. Our player of the game, I'm going to give it to Caitlin Flores. At the point she took over serving, this game was tied at 13 apiece. By the time they looked up again, Rio Hondo was trailing by 6 points, thanks to her serves. Also, her play at the net was instrumental in getting the victory for the Lady Eagles. Not much time between these pool games, therefore we'll make this a very brief post-game show. Brought to you by South Padre Island and by Texas Southmost College. Hanna goes to 1-1 in pool play today. They're 3-2 overall in pool play. Rio Hondo looking for their first win will take on a tough Los Fresnos team next. Till this time, next time. So long.